making Pizza Hut pizza. The kind we like to eat, the toppings, pepperoni, gooey cheese, anything that we please when pastry's quite enough.
The best breakfast cereal in the whole world. It is nutritious. It is wonderful. All you do is put popcorn in a bowl, put a little milk on it, and you got it. The milk is down below, Jim. You want to grab it?
For sure.
And these kids get to try it. It's like puffed rice or puffed wheat.
Okay, who's going to try this?
Oh, you guys are going to try it. Come on. Oh, look at these kids.
Okay. Ryan's falling out of his chair
to try this. You can put a little sugar on it if you want, Jim. It doesn't really need it.
Let's have Ryan try it. He's right up front.
Come on, Ryan.
I'll
try this.
You put some more. Let's put some more in here.
Oh, it is wonderful stuff, Jim. And look at all the bowls we've got. We have enough for everybody here.
Ryan's going to put that on his
Carol's going to pass it out.
Okay, Carol's going to pass it out.
It is just like puffed wheat and puffed rice. It is wonderful. Have you ever had it, Jim?
I have had no, I haven't had popcorn.
Well, you got to try it. I mean, you know, it isn't fair unless you try it.
Okay, let me get some out here, because I want some honest-to-goodness reaction. Ryan's still chewing.
Look at Ryan. Oh, yeah. That is good stuff. Look at this. It is good stuff.
While you do that, let me come on over to Ryan, who is now spooning some more in his mouth. How is that?
Fine.
Is it tasty?
Mm-hmm.
Would you make it for breakfast for yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's one testimonial. Here's a young lady back here. What do you think?
It's good.
It's good.
It's okay, she says. Who else has one here? Ryan's going to the floor. Ryan over here. We have lots of Ryans in the audience. What do you think?
It's good.
Okay, so far we got two real great it's goods and
okay, well, it's all right. It's all right.
Okay. Now this is one of the things that you can do very easily.
Easily. This other thing, Jim, is something you can do the night before with Knox gelatin, and the recipe's right on here. It doesn't take much at all to make it. People for years have made it with Jell-O. My husband thinks it feels like an eraser. Feel it?
It does.
Doesn't? Yeah, look at that. You know, but Jell-O isn't
terribly... It would be fun to throw at the wall and bounce off, too.
Jell-O isn't terribly nutritious, so I make it with juice, with just straight orange juice and straight grape juice. Good. And supposing a kid doesn't have even time to gulp a glass of juice, they can grab a couple of these as they go out the door. And look at Erin has her hand up because she knows how good this stuff is.
Hand these out.
That's orange. This is grape.
Orange. Let me
Why don't you just take the plate, you guys? And if anybody doesn't mind having Jell-O,
now what do you actually do to make it?
Okay, Jim, I take. Let me show you.
Okay.
To make a big pan like a great big 9 by 13 pan.
Okay.
Look at this. They're going to be gone in a whiz.
There you go.
Oh,
Come on down here.
Stuff.
Sure. Oh, I think so. Go ahead.
But
Mom wants to try this here as well. Okay, now you're going to tell us
I'm going to tell you how to do it, Jim. Take 2 cups of orange juice, sprinkle 4 packages of Knox gelatin in it till it gets soft. Heat up 2 other cups of orange juice, put it all together and stir until the gelatin melts, pour it into a pan and put it in the refrigerator.
Now, when you get it, how long does it stay in there? Could you make it?
Until it's good and hard.
Okay, so how long does that take, you think?
It actually doesn't take all that long, depending on how cold your refrigerator is, of course.
That's
but it was hard in about an hour yesterday.
Okay, Lynn has a question.
Go ahead.
Can you freeze it? I mean, it makes so much and it goes to waste.
But I think the iciness afterwards then kind of makes it.
You've never tried it?
But you know, they could put it in a bowl and eat it. Who cares?
After it's frozen, you mean?
Sure, after it's frozen.
Okay.
I think I'd do it.
I want another testimonial here. Kimberly, let me get you to stand.
Yeah.
What do you think about this stuff?
It's good. It just tastes like orange juice.
Yeah.
Like in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now we could do a little Knox blocks for the orange juice. We could do some popcorn for this.
Simple stuff to do.
Okay.
Simple stuff to do.
Now, what are the things that the kids can do? Can I try the orange?
Well, one of the things that I kind of want everybody to know, I know that all of you know this, but don't get hung up on eating breakfast for breakfast. You know, a grilled cheese sandwich. I bet Kevin, that's the best thing in the world for breakfast.
Kevin says
Easy
before the show he makes that.
That's right. Easy to do that in the morning. Easy to do those kind of things. If you have anything left over that you can make a sandwich in the morning, that's really good. I think that often we get so hung up. You know, one of the nicest things for breakfast, Jim, is leftover meatloaf. You know, they don't even have to heat it up. It can be cold, and they can slice it and put it on a piece of bread, and they've got all the nutrition they need. And I think that we need to be careful about getting really hung up on even cold spaghetti is good in the morning.
Let me go over to one of the moms here. Kathy, can I get you to stand? Because we're talking, we got lots of young people and lots of parents in the audience as well. You cook with your kids?
Yes, I do.
How old were they when you started cooking with them?
Well, they're 7 and 5.5 now. It's been about a year.
What did you first start having them do?
Crack the eggs in the morning, and
That's pretty risky. You could have shells in there
we did.
for a while.
Yes.
But I imagine they learned to do it very well.
Pretty well, yeah.
And now today, you've got them doing 8-course dinners, right?
Well, we're thinking about it. We haven't yet.
Now, one of the things that some parents who might not have done that out there might have some hesitation. You've done it. What do you say to them?
Well, you have to start sometime, and they wanted to do something, so I just let them go to it.
Have they learned from this?
I think so.
It's been beneficial at your house.
Jim, think about the kid who goes away to college at 18 and can't cook a thing. Think how many women you've heard say, you know, when I got married, I couldn't boil water. That is a tragedy. You don't learn that easily when you're that age because you have a lot of other things to do. You need to start very young, and it pays off in the long run.
Okay, thank you, Kathy.
Drives you a little cuckoo sometimes, but, you know.
We want to take phone calls from our viewers at home this morning. 443-TALK is our number. If you've got suggestions or questions, I'd like to hear from you. Let's take a call right now. Line 1, good morning.
Morning.
Hi.
Hi. Bev, I have a question for you. I'm going to be starting my own daycare center. And I'm probably going to have about 2 or 3 children, depending, because I live in an apartment. And I don't like to give children a lot of sugar. And what would be a good suggestion, you know, like if I wanted to give them sweets, what could I give them that would not have a lot of sugar?
Are you talking about breakfast?
Yes.
Yeah. Again, you can leave the sugar out of everything. It's just a habit. You can do the popcorn, you can do things like that and just leave the sugar out. I think we're just in that habit. I think that even when you make pancakes, you can spread them with a little margarine or butter and roll them up, and they don't need the sugar. And I think that's just that's a habit in America, is dumping sugar on everything. Basically, we feed the popcorn and milk to our kids at school and never put popcorn. But never put sugar and salt or anything on it. We just leave it off and see they just become accustomed to it.
Okay, stick around because we're going to have some other suggestions as well. These are delightful looking sesame sticks, and these can be made by young people.
Easily.
We're going to do some cooking as well and some other things. We'll take a break, come back, more with Bev Boss, more for you, Cooking with Kids. And Michael Glassman joins us live from the State Fair later on. We'll be right back.
To phone in your questions or comments, call 443-TALK. Out of the Sacramento area, just call collect.
Mosey on down and grab your 10-gallon hat tomorrow night at the Lent Ranch in Elk Grove and treat yourself to some good old-fashioned barbecued beef. Get your tickets early before they sell out, though, by calling 686-5880. That's for the American Cancer Society. Don't miss the hoedown. It's in Elk Grove, and this is KCRA TV, Sacramento.
Break open the breath saver.
Share that sparkle, share that kiss. Break open the breath saver.
They're sugar-free.
Ta mère est si belle, si mince. Est-ce qu'elle mange? Elle est bête. Un peu moins avec ça. Fiber Trim, fait de grains et de citrus. Ça t'embête qu'elle soit si belle? Non, je connais tous ses secrets.
Fiber Trim, the European way to help you stay slim. I used ordinary flea collars on our dog until I found the one with a real difference. New Double Duty Plus flea and tick collars. The dark band contains a pesticide that kills fleas and ticks for months. And look, here's the difference. The light band contains Nutrisorb, a slow-release coat and skin conditioner for healthier skin and a beautiful coat. A flea killer plus a coat conditioner in new Double Duty Plus flea and tick collars with Nutrisorb for dogs and cats at the Snoopy Pet Center in your favorite store.
A big celebration, remembering the day that World War II ended, and Channel 3 was the only Sacramento area station to take you center stage live. To the ceremonies, the excitement on the deck of the USS Enterprise, KCRA brought you complete coverage. Margaret Pelly with live reports from the Bay Area on the day's activities. Dan Shively with special live aerial pictures from the Bay. And Tip Kindle, live from the USS Enterprise. Only on KCRA TV, where the news comes first. When panic strikes,
You can't explain it, but the fear you feel is real. Monday, learn to conquer those panics, phobias, and fears.
Welcome back to Look Who's Talking. We're cooking with author and teacher Bev Boss. Want to mention her books, which are available at bookstores in our area. One is called Before the Basics, and one is called Don't Move the Muffin Tins. Both books which deal with creativity and direction and art projects in kids. Great books indeed, and you might want to pick a couple up if you have children at your home. I don't care how old or how young they are. They're great books. Yeah. We're going to make something here, which you say is the easiest thing for kids to do.
You guys.
Kimberly, can I get you to come on up here?
Yeah.
And what about Stephanie? Come on up here. All right. Now, let's see. How many more do we need?
Oh, I don't care.
First, come on up here.
As many as there's room for,
How
Jim.
about, we'll start with 3. Come on in here right now.
What you do is you take a piece of lettuce, and red is really the best, okay, you kids? And then you take a knife, and you spread peanut butter. Does everybody like peanut butter? Oh, yeah,
I don't know who doesn't.
I figured it. Just spread peanut butter on the lettuce any way you want to. It doesn't make any difference. Now, you can eat it just like that, just, you know, the way you want it. Or you can put a few raisins on it, you know, sprinkle some raisins, or some sunflower seeds. And then what you do, you guys, is you roll it up. Just roll this piece of lettuce up like this, and you stick it in your mouth. It's delicious. Weird. Come on, Kim, make one.
Why don't you guys get
Come on, you guys, get over here. Who wants this one? Oh, my gosh. Anthony, come here. Get this.
He's got that. Let's take another phone call from one of our viewers while we're waiting. 443-TALK is our number. Line 2. Anthony, take a bite of that. I want to see how you like that. Go ahead, line 2. You're with us.
Yes, you're talking about teaching children to cook for themselves?
Yeah.
I was divorced and found I was having trouble making time for my son. I was working full-time and coming home to a lot of housework and cooking dinner. So after about 6 months of pulling hair out, we decided to make dinner time a time to share together. So I taught him to help me cook dinner. He was 4 years old. We started out with making salads. We had a whole week's worth of lessons on the proper way to handle a knife and prepare the vegetables.
And how did it work out?
Terrific. He's 10 years old now, and he can totally prepare dinner when I'm in a hurry.
What a great story.
You know, Jim, a little hint about...
Wait, I have to ask Anthony first.
Yeah,
What do you think of this roll-up?
Good. Look at this. Ooh, he's got a good one.
He's doing two-handed. Okay,
yeah.
Bruce
Look
is
at
doing
this.
it. Well, try to taste it here. Okay.
Yeah.
Kimberly's got it here. Kimberly, what do you think?
Star.
It's different.
Kimberly's going to be a diplomat on this one. Stephanie, what do you think?
It's good.
What do you think, huh?
It's good.
Okay,
Yeah,
so we got. I think the vote is there. Okay,
Yeah.
why don't you finish eating those, and we can make some more of those. Let me ask the caller if you're still there with us. How soon did you find that you could actually get your child involved in actual cooking?
Oh, within 6 months or less than that, I could totally leave that I was preparing the meat, and he would take care of the salad. And then within a few months of that, he learned how to make salad dressing on his own, and we'd have homemade salad dressings. And from then, he prepared the vegetables, and I'd make the salad. And then within a year, he was cooking the meat.
That's fantastic. Is there a favorite dish that he makes now?
Steak with onion and mushroom sauce and a baked potato.
Sounds great. Thank you for the call. That's what a
Do you know,
great
Jim,
testimonial.
good thing she said that. Baked potatoes are wonderful for breakfast. Baked potatoes are wonderful for lunch because there's a variety of things that you can put on them. They're really, really nice. One hint I want to tell you, when you're working with young children, teach them to saw rather than chop. Chopping, there's so much pressure there. They could cut themselves. But if you teach them to saw, it's a nice motion. And the other thing is, often as you can, mothers and fathers who are listening, be sure you use clear dishes so the kid can see what he's doing.
What a great idea.
Then he doesn't have to be up so high.
Okay, good.
Really
I'm
good
going to let
idea.
these guys sit down. Let's see. Who wants to...
And
Valerie,
the other thing is, Jim, have you ever had ants on a log?
I beg your pardon.
I beg
Ants
your
on a
pardon.
log. Valerie, come on
Ants
up
on
here.
a log.
And
just,
John, why don't you come up here also as well? And
Ants
Aaron,
on, you know
come on
ants
down.
on a log.
I'm sure they would want to make some too. Come on.
Look at this. Butter. Keep shaking the butter.
Oh yeah, we started during the commercial. What are they shaking?
They're shaking whipping cream, and eventually it'll become butter if she doesn't get too tired.
Okay, we'll make these.
Jim,
kids.
this is ants on a log.
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter, celery, and raisins.
Can I try that?
Oh God, it's wonderful, Jim. You will love it.
Okay, this
come
is
over here, you
peanut
kids.
butter. Let's move you guys.
Come on,
Valerie,
Val.
come on over here.
Come on, Aaron.
Okay.
You want to make one of these,
and
or
John,
how about
step on over here
a celery and
take your
whatever
pick.
you want to make.
Can either make ants on a log or the lettuce with whichever.
Or the other thing,
Isn't
Jim,
that
we've
good?
got to get started on, and maybe Val will help us with this. Is those breadstick things.
Good.
Not bad, huh?
Right.
You want me to do this, or you want to do this? Oh, I did it.
Now you're making, which is...
breadsticks.
I want to show the finished product here before you even start.
Yeah.
These are sesame breadsticks.
They're better hot.
They're better hot.
But I had to make those the night before.
This is what they look like. And they are... I had one during the commercial. They're very good. How do you make them?
Okay, Val, what you need to do, any kind of refrigerator biscuits, you guys, or if you have your own biscuits, that's fine. Val, you need to cut that in half, first of all. Just cut this biscuit in half for me. I know you can handle that. That's it. Good job, kid.
And she's sawing.
She's sawing. Good for her. Good for her. And see, she's keeping her other hand a long way away from that knife, and that's a good idea. Okay, now, Val, all you need to do is roll this out. Just roll it out. If you want to really work on something, you can give the kid a ruler and say, hey, roll it to 5 inches. And see, she could have that laying there and she could tell. But I don't care how she rolls it. Just roll it out and roll it out and roll it out.
John, how do you like the ants?
It's pretty good.
Did you ever have these before?
No. Oh, I'll make another one.
Aaron, what do you
Good
think?
job.
Aaron's really digging into this here. Good?
Yeah.
Ever make this before?
No.
We're teaching these kids new things entirely. So Valerie's
you got
rolling
it, Val.
along here.
Good, that's pretty good. Now what you have to do, Val, is you just put it in here. Let's do this first. Let's reach this, Jim. Give me the crumbs too, Jim.
Crumbs, okay.
Crumbs.
What
Now,
kind of crumbs?
What I did here was Rice Krispies and some sesame seeds.
Oh.
Really nice. You can use any kind of cereal that you want. Just crush them up, and the kids can do that with a rolling pin in a plastic bag. Okay, I want you to brush this biscuit with butter, with milk. Just brush it on. Good for you.
This young lady is going to be a chef, I can tell.
Yeah. Good job. Now what you have to do, Val, is just dump it in the crumbs, the biscuit.
Go ahead, I'll hold the crumbs here for
and just roll it around in there. That's it. You can sprinkle them over. That's it. You got it. Just roll them around. Good for you. And then you can put it in the pan, and they're ready to go.
That's all there is to it?
That's all there is to that.
And then you just bake it for what?
Bake it for 10 minutes at 350.
Okay, now this is 10 minutes at 350. This is what the finished product looks like. Val, would you like to taste one of these to see what they...
And maybe she'd even like to pass them out, do you suppose? Oh, I don't know about this, Jim.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Okay, you pass these out, all
You
right?
should have given one to Mike so he has... Oh, he's got butter, I think, Jim.
Already?
I think he has. Oh, boy, you are the best. Yeah, he's got it.
Now, this is regular whipping cream that you buy at the store.
That you buy at the store.
You've got it in sort of a baby bottle here, a baby food jar here.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
Let's pull some
of
that out.
That would be good on those breadsticks, Jim.
Okay,
Actually,
hold on
you pour off the whey, which is left.
Okay, let me pour it off into a... give me one of those cereal bowls.
Thank you. Here she goes.
Cereal bowl, and
Carol's
I'll
getting
pour
a cereal
this
bowl.
off.
Good for you. I can't believe he got it. That was fast. Mike, you are good.
The rest of you keep working, however. We need that butter. Okay, I'll put this here.
They would be good on those breadsticks. Do you want me to hold that for you? Or no? You want to talk? Pour the whey. That's called the whey. That's what's left after you separate the fat from the... Oh, my goodness, Valerie. That was incredible. I do have some crackers if somebody would like to taste the butter.
Let's try that.
Here, put the butter in here. Why don't you just dump it in there, Jim?
Okay.
Can you do it?
Yeah. One. Now, tell us again, one more time. This is a baby food jar.
Baby food jar.
Put in
whipping cream, and I just pour in about a third, you know. And in fact, I think Mike's was about a half. Just dump it in. Some people say rinse it with cold water. Why bother? Why bother?
Well, that is butter.
Yeah, that's butter. Just with cold, you know, this is butter. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I wouldn't lie to you.
Didn't know that.
You've never done that?
No.
Oh, he's really, you know. Okay.
Now, let's see what those look like. John, Aaron, we'll let you sit down,
and
okay?
Mike needs to taste this. Unless you want to make another thing, John. You want to
make one more to take back? Okay, thanks, Aaron.
Okay, I took them out. Here.
Now, Mike just made it, so let's have Mike taste the first one so he can spread some of his own butter.
Now, you could, if you want to, Jim, you can put a little salt in there, but I just don't think that's necessary. I think that sweet butter is really, really good, and we don't need to get the idea that we have to have salt on everything.
Let me come over. I want Mike's unbiased opinion on his own butter.
It's good.
Good?
I knew it.
Wonderful.
I knew it.
And Carol, let me try one of those too
before it's all gone.
Before it's all gone. I just
How you doing, Angela? Is your arm getting tired? Oh.
I'll just take a little edge here. That's very good.
It's good. It's good. What an experience for children. You know,
Wait, I don't get this again. Just whipping cream in a baby food jar. You shake it. Okay, let's do that. Let's take another call. 443-TALK, line 3. Good morning.
Hi, I'm 12 years old, and I was wondering, my mother knows I can cook. I've prepared breakfast for myself, lunch for her, and dinner. But whenever I get ready to help her cook or do something, she always treats me like I don't know what I'm doing. and I was wondering what I could do to show her that I know what I'm doing in the kitchen.
Now, here's a child who has a question that she wants to get involved, but Mom has a little hesitancy.
Sometimes moms just are so pressured. There's so much to do. It does drive you cuckoo. I have to tell you that last night, and you'll appreciate this, my granddaughter was helping me make the next thing that we're making, and I thought I was going to go crazy. She was wonderful, but parents do get tired. They just want to get it done as fast as they can. One of the things you might think about doing is slipping into the kitchen a little bit earlier and start it going before she can get in there, and show her how prepared you can be. And the other thing that's really important is that you help clean up. Sometimes there's a lot of things to do afterwards and kids kind of disappear, but it's important that you stay and finish it up.
Okay, now you mentioned, thank you for the call, and I hope things change at your house. You mentioned the next thing you're going to make. What is that? What's involved in that?
Let me show you. This is a really interesting thing, Jim. Imagine teaching your kid to cook before they can read.
Okay, let me hold this over here to camera one so camera one can see it. Now, before the kids can read, you've got pictures on here, essentially.
See if you can tell what we're going to do, Jim. What does it say?
It looks like three tablespoons of something, and 1 tablespoon of something else, and an onion. It looks like a picture of an onion, and an egg with a whisk, and a can of tomatoes, it looks like.
You got it. Boy,
okay,
not
salt
bad.
and pepper. Thank you, and I'm not even reading. But this is one of the things, and what do you end up when you end up with?
Look at it.
Okay.
This off.
This is the final product, and this is called what?
This isn't how it's cooked, Jim. This is how it's cooked. What you end up with is individual meatloafs. And each kid makes their own meatloaf. It is absolutely delicious. And the kid mixes all of these things.
Okay.
3 tablespoons of this.
Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk about how you put this together. More to come on Look Who's Talking with Bev Boss. We'll be right back.
Good. I don't hope
it Coming up later in the show, a special family guide to outdoor survival. Don't get lost.
Look, you can get this pocket-sized disc camera as a gift from U.S. News and World Report. Stay tuned, and we'll tell you how.
Do you realize that Russia has ships, missiles, and bombers massed near the North Pole, ready to do battle with the U.S.?
With so many reports on child abuse, how can you find someone to take care of your children that you can trust?
And why do experts say, if you've been thinking about starting a new business, now's the time?
If you're intrigued by topics like these, you should be reading U.S. News and World Report. Reading U.S. News each week keeps you on top of the news, so you can talk intelligently about national and world events.
It gives you a real understanding of what the news means and what it means to you.
Helps you recognize what's important, who's important. Do you know who really runs America?
Why prisons are bulging and crime seems to be getting worse.
Each week, U.S. News helps you see beyond the isolated events and discover the trends, so you'll find out what effect proposed tax changes are likely to have on the economy and your pocketbook.
I think you'll find U.S. News worth reading just for the news you can use.
For advice on dealing with health problems, getting a great vacation, finding college money, and more. So don't wait. Get U.S. News by calling 800-228-3800 for a money-saving trial subscription. As an added bonus, you'll also get this pocket-sized disc camera that takes sharp photos fast, even takes flash pictures without batteries. And it's yours absolutely free. So call today, 800-228-3800. Get 23 weeks of U.S. News and 3 easy monthly payments of just $5.97 each. Less than 78 cents an issue. You save more than half the cover price. And the disc camera is yours free. So call 800-228-3800. Toll free, 800-228-3800.
U.S. News and World Report satisfies your need to know. U.S. News and World Report.
The event is fun, free, and for all ages to enjoy. Join the St. Mary's Parish on August the 18th when they sponsor the 54th Annual St. Mary's Parish Festival. The excitement begins at 10:30 a.m. and continues till 8:30 that night at the St. Mary's School grounds at 58th and M. If you like roast beef, rigatoni, pizza, Mexican food, kiddie rides, much more, lots of entertainment, the event is for you. For more information, call 452-0296.
Some people have a fear of heights, others are claustrophobic, and still others are afraid to go out in public. Monday, find out how to conquer panic, phobias, and fears.
Welcome back to Look Who's Talking. Author and teacher Bev Boss with us. These guys have been making stuff. Dominic, what did you make? Don't know, you just made it. Lettuce, looks like raisins, seeds, and peanut butter. How is it?
Pretty good.
Pretty good? Okay, how's yours?
It's good.
Everybody's rolling the lettuce up. Jonathan, however, made the ants on a log. What do you think?
It's okay.
It's okay? Would you make it at home?
Yeah.
You would. Okay, I'll let you guys sit down because we're going to cook over here and do some other things. I'll leave you on that side. We're going to make these individual meatloaves. How do you do that?
Okay, Jim, remember the card?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. You just put the card up, or you don't have to do it that way. You can stand and give your kid verbal instructions.
Okay.
3 tablespoons of ground meat. Okay. 1 tablespoon of wheat crumbs, and the kids can grate those crumbs up or pick them apart where they want. 1/8 of a teaspoon of onion, a little bit of egg, and they just mix it. I have them mix it with their hands. I mean, we just got to get in there. Wash them first.
They're going to, wash them first, and you're going to cook them anyway.
You're going to cook them anyway. And then they pop them into these little muffin tins. You know, somebody could make some for the whole family. They're absolutely delicious, and they're warm. If we want to pass these out, it's just delicious. My 5-year-old granddaughter, Kylie, made these last night for us.
All right, and how long do you cook them?
About, 20, 30 minutes.
Okay. Can I cut some of these up?
Oh, certainly.
Well, because
in fact,
I'm sure...
Carol will do that, Jim, if you wanted to.
Because you want to make something...
Pass them around.
Come on in. Carol is Bev's assistant here, and we will do... Why don't you cut those up, and we'll try some of those. Should we hand out the other meatballs?
Oh,
we'll just bring out the other meatballs while we've
let's do this.
Because the other thing is a main dish meal, and kids can make this.
In there, Jim, is tomato sauce. Just about a tablespoon. Or you could leave that out. It doesn't make any difference.
I'm going to let you cut these up.
But this is a wonderful idea for parents. You know, the pictures rather than... you can even do that in the grocery store. Give your kid a list by giving them pictures of things and have them take a cart and go get the things that they need.
Okay. Now, you've got a main dish here which kids could make for a special occasion.
And I would think that younger children can help with this, older children can do the whole product. And what you need to do is you need to tell your meat man to cut round steak or some kind of steak really thin. I get the cheapest thing I can. Okay. Can we see this on here, Jim?
Sure. Yeah, put it right down there. I think we can see it from up above.
And what you need, and this is wonderful, you're going to say, my gosh, dill pickles. A piece of dill pickle, and that goes on here. And then if you like, and it really gives it a nice flavor, a piece of bacon. And then you need a little onion, and you can either grate it up or you can do a slice of bacon, however you want to do it. And then you get to roll it, and you just roll it up like this. And now there's a couple of things that you can do here. You can either stick a toothpick in it when you get through, or if you're really ambitious, you can tie it with string. And here you've got this wonderful roll, and of course, because the meat's thin, Jim, it doesn't take long to cook. What you do is, I'm just going to do it with a toothpick because it's faster than tying string. And then you roll it in flour, and this is the finished product over here, and I say that you absolutely must taste this.
Now, you put this in a little oil in a pan.
And brown it.
And then how long do you cook it?
About 35, 40 minutes. And the pickle kind of almost disappears. Some people think it's asparagus or something because the flavor, it makes lots of gravy, and it's just absolutely wonderful. And we have to get plates because you have to try this.
Why don't you put that on a platter? And why don't you put those in there? Because I know I want to try it.
You've got to try this.
Sure.
This is,
let's take a...
It is called rouladen, which is German for rolled meat.
Okay.
It is absolutely delicious.
While you do this, here's what the finished product looks like.
It is
here,
wonderful.
I want to hold this to this camera.
And let me tell you something, Jim. These are better heated up the next day. And so if the kid wants to make them the day before, then you can heat them up the next day. They're better even 2 days later.
Okay.
It's just absolutely delicious.
Line 4, let's take a call. Line 4, good morning.
Good morning. I just wanted to make a comment. Bev, you're right on in teaching children to cook. I started with my older sons out of necessity because they needed to earn their Cub Scout badges, and that's the only thing I knew how to do. And I went on with the third son as a single parent, and he went on and won a college scholarship. Through his cooking, he now teaches me the fancier things, so it does pay off.
That's just wonderful. It pays off. That's what we said. It pays off. My son, my oldest son, worked his way through everything, cooking in a hospital. You know, you can always get a job if you can cook. People always eat. You do know that, don't you?
That's true.
I don't need to tell you that.
There is a self-sufficiency that you learn from cooking that you will not get from many other things.
Right.
And as you say, you can always cook up something delicious to eat.
And then you cook what you like to eat also. That's kind of important. Sometimes your parents cook things that you don't like, and if you're cooking yourself, it's really nice because you cook things that you like.
You've got a little dessert thing that we could do. Can we try to do that as well?
We can try to do that too, Jim.
I don't know. Let me try to hand out some of these. It's a little messy, but maybe I can do so. Want to try that?
Okay, Dominic, come and peel a banana. Brandon, peel a banana for me. Let's get this heat on here.
Okay.
Turn this up just a little bit. Yeah, down.
There you go.
Okay, there we go. Basically, I do this in the oven, but that's good. And we need a knife, Jim.
Okay.
Oh, right here.
Yeah, got one right here.
Good. Cut those bananas in half, you guys.
Take them all the way out of the peel?
All the way out of the peel.
Okay.
I usually do this in the oven, and you can slice them, you know, we'll do it really quick.
Right in half.
Right in half. And this is a Teflon pan. We don't even need any oil or anything. Just throw them in the pan.
But if you didn't have one, just a touch of oil?
Sure, just a touch of oil.
Or
just
that
a touch
spray
of oil.
stuff that you put in there?
Yeah, whatever you want to
have
use.
to cut them the long
It doesn't
way.
matter, yeah. However you want to cut them. Just cut them up in pieces, you guys.
Okay, good.
Here you are.
Got another knife for Brandon.
Let me get this. What we would do, and I don't know if we have time to do this, but we would whip cream, Jim. Cook the bananas for about 10 minutes. Oh, good job, Dominic. Just toss them in the pan. I think they're cooking already. They're going to be delicious.
So what you do is put...
That's all right.
We put them lightly in the pan,
Sure.
low heat.
Low heat. Got to watch them for a few minutes.
Okay.
Maybe in the oven, I put them at 350 for 10 minutes.
So you can either bake them or do them in the pan.
Yeah, baking is easy. Do them in a pan, and then we whip some cream. And when you take them out, you can sprinkle a little sugar on if you want. Oh, they're cooking already. I hear them. You guys hear them?
Just drop that one right in there. Okay.
Good. We'll stick
and you
this
just
on for
cover
me.
that up.
Just cover that for a few
now,
minutes.
when you leave that cook very lightly for 10 minutes, or in the oven for
about 10 minutes.
10 minutes as well. Do they turn brown?
Well, a little bit, Yeah, it doesn't take very long. It might not even take 10 minutes on this gas heat, Jim. You just want them to just cook a little bit. Then whip some cream, put the bananas on the plate. If you need a little sugar, okay, but you really don't because bananas are nice and sweet. And then just put a dab of whipped cream on the top, and you got a wonderful, nutritious dessert.
Now, one of the things that people who have not cooked with their kids before might think about, how much do I start with the child? Now, you've been cooking with a lot of children. Does it vary from child to child?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Their interest varies, their attention span. But I think you can always get a kid to peel a banana. You can always get them to cut the banana. Fruit salads, grilled cheese like Kevin makes, easy things like that. Start with that. Or just buttering the toast. Remember she talked about buttering the toast. You know, just easy things like that.
That's a great idea. Angela and Chris, you will come on. I want to check on your butter situation here because Mike had all of that butter. Let's see how we're doing.
Oh yeah, hers is butter. Look at Jim, it's separated. Oh, look at his. Look at his, Jim. Nice job.
Solid butter, of course. It's on so tight that we can't get it open.
Oh, I got it.
There you go.
Look at that. Isn't it the best looking butter you ever saw in your whole life?
Well, I don't know if you can get a shot of that in there, but it is just gorgeous. Deep inside. I'll hold it there. So you can see, there you go. It's solid, and Chris has just been shaking it for about 10 minutes, and it is nothing but whipping cream. Put in a little jar, and you just shake.
Just shake.
Chris, good job. Angela, thank you.
Bravo.
You
Let's
guys
clap for those
give
kids.
them a hand for the great butter
That's a lot
making.
of work.
They didn't even need a churn.
See, they're cooking already, Jim. See, look at there, that one's brown.
We have, we're fast running out of time. And can we do this again sometime?
Oh, let's.
We've got some other things we didn't even get to.
That's right.
Will you come back and we'll do some more cooking with kids?
Of course we will.
Some great ideas from Bev Boss, and I hope that this will encourage you to get involved with your kids at home and do some cooking as well. Nice to see you.
Nice to be here.
Thanks
nice
for
to
being
be here.
with
Thank
us.
you, kids, for helping.
We're going to take a break. We will come back. Outdoor survival, if you're not a person who goes to the outdoors very often, what do you do and how do you dress and what about keeping the bugs away? When we come back on Look Who's Talking, we will have an expert who has some homemade advice for you and some advice on how you can learn about being in the outdoors safely. We'll do that in just a moment, and Michael Glassman's still to come. Be right back.
Here's how you can get more information on today's program.
Here's what you should be doing instead of suffering from cramps. And you could, with the help of Maximum Cramp Relief Formula Pampers. Each capsule has as much aspirin-free pain reliever as extra-strength Tylenol, plus a special cramp reliever Tylenol doesn't have. The result, maximum relief from cramps. So get Maximum Cramp Relief Formula Pamperin and get out there.
You like the fact they lowered the prices?
I love the fact that they lowered the prices. Okay. Wouldn't you?
What's your favorite hamburger at Carl's Jr.?
I think the Famous Star is probably my favorite.
Why?
Oh, the charbroiled taste.
Tastes like you made it yourself at home, outside. And you don't have to clean up after yourself.
It's just a great hamburger and a low price, too.
It's delicious. Can you smell the onions?
We're working to make Carl's Jr. better than ever. How are we doing?
Carl, you're doing great. And you know what? Everybody that works for you is so nice.
Is the wallpaper
paper guaranteed?
It's guaranteed.
Is the paint guaranteed?
It's guaranteed.
Is the paint guaranteed to go with the wallpaper?
Guaranteed.
Now, what about the carpet?
It's guaranteed.
To go with the wallpaper?
Guaranteed.
And the paint?
Guaranteed.
Now, about the mini blinds?
They're guaranteed.
To go with the wallpaper, the paint, and the carpet?
Guaranteed.
Oh.
At Standard Brands, we not only guarantee our products, we also guarantee that you'll like the results.
Can I get this guarantee anywhere else?
No guarantee.
Standard Brands. When it comes to guarantees, we set the standard.
Dates and details, a schedule of activities in Northern California. For good old-fashioned fun, games, and barbecue, go to St. Teresa's Church Sunday in Ileton. Are your pets suffering from summer fleas? Advice is at your fingertips. Call Teletip and ask for message 272. Poetry lovers, rhyme your way through Sunday at a poetry marathon in downtown Sacramento. Sunday, enjoy free homemade ice cream, great jazz, and good company at North Minister Presbyterian Church. KCRA TV, Sacramento.
Carol Latimer is a woman who knows a lot about the great outdoors, and many of those pictures include her and also were taken by her. Nice to have you with us.
Thank you.
She is the founder of the Outdoor Women's School in Berkeley, California, and a school which deals with getting people back to nature. Seems like such a cliche, but that's indeed it, and getting out of the urban environment. But you also are a person who says if you're going to do it, you should do it right and do it safely.
Right.
Now, one of the things that a lot of us who are city folks don't do is prepare before we go out to the great outdoors. What do we do first?
What do you do first? I would read something about it, take some classes if you can. I offer classes through the Outdoor Women's School in Berkeley. Find a good wilderness guide. That's always a good idea. And just basically be aware of what you can expect when you get out there. A lot of people are afraid that wild animals are going to chase them, or that it's, they're going to get bitten by a snake or something like that. But the Upjohn Company's done a survey, and it shows that the real problems are things like mosquito bites. 95% of the people who go out get bitten by insects. 45% get poison oak. That's a pretty big percentage, 45% poison oak.
Now, what about those of us who wouldn't recognize poison oak if we tripped over it, literally?
Yeah, that's what happens most of the time. Leaflets 3, Let It Be, is a little saying, and it's real shiny and green and usually turns red. And it's the oil that gets you. Also, if you have dogs running around in the brush, they can come back with this oleo resin on their coats, and you can get it from that.
Okay, now you brought some things along today which are a good idea if you're heading for the wilderness. Now, what are some of those things?
Well, a lot of people are bothered by insects when they go out, and so I have this three-pronged attack against insects. Are you ready? Stand back.
What is it? Oh, my goodness.
This is gourmet food.
That smells awful. What is it?
It's pesto sauce, and it's actually delicious.
Garlic and parsley and all of those things?
It's basil, olive oil, and it's loaded with garlic. And scientific evidence is now showing that if you eat something that's loaded with garlic, about a few hours later, it'll come out your pores. You don't need a scientist to tell you that. And it helps keep the bugs away.
Pesticide in this particular case. Okay, that'd keep a lot of things away. Not only bugs.
Everybody has to eat it.
Okay. What else do you have?
Okay, you really should take along a good mosquito repellent. And it should be something with the active ingredient DEET. And DEET is like a little short, sort of a slang word for a very long word, diethyl metal side or something.
Yes.
And so you should have a good mosquito repellent, and then you're probably going to get bitten anyway. It's really funny. They actually come to men more than women. They're repelled a little bit by white, attracted to blue.
Why men more than women?
I don't know. I don't know what it is exactly.
Not enough pesticides.
Could be.
If you're using this, and I mean, people talk about natural things, do you really need the mosquito repellent?
Yeah, I would do both. In fact, probably, really, the mosquito repellent probably works better than this. And some people probably are going to get bitten anyway. And so I have something called Cordaid. It's a hydrocortisone cream, and it's really great also for poison oak. Anything that has an itch and a rash and kind of red swelling. I always have it in my first aid kit.
Put it on afterwards.
Afterwards. It's after the fact, after you get bitten.
You mentioned first aid kit. Now, what should be included in that if for those of us going to the great outdoors for the first time, not quite sure what we're going to meet?
Well, okay, besides the cord aid, you definitely want to have something for blisters. But to back up a little bit, you should have like a good pair of lightweight hiking boots. I think the old, big, heavy leather ones are kind of outdated now. You want a pair of lightweight ones. And then you want something called moleskin. And this prevents blisters. You put this on before you get a blister. Like if you have a fairly new pair of boots or you think your boots are going to rub you, it's adhesive on this side and you cut it the right size and put it there on the back of your heel, over here, wherever you think you might get a blister. If you get a blister, there's this great stuff. Isn't that weird?
It is strange. It's sort of like a plastic baggie, and it has something
like
in between.
Jell-O almost. It's
yeah.
like Jell-O. It's this gel sheeting, and it sort of acts like another layer of skin. And you put that over the blister, and you put it in place with this adhesive mesh tape. And it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful.
It takes care of that.
Yeah, it really helps.
What's the #1 thing? Now, what's this?
That's what they call a space blanket. That's a product of the space age.
Oh, my goodness.
That'll cover up a 6-foot man. And
it just unrolls and unrolls and unrolls.
Yeah.
And what do you do with it?
If you get caught out, you could wrap yourself up in it, and it would help keep you warm. I can't guarantee that it'll be toasty, but it works 2 ways, by trapping your body heat and also by reflecting your body heat back at you.
Okay.
It's good.
One of the things that you talk about, and before we go away, and we're going to have an address in just a moment where you can get some more information about the Outdoor Survival Guide, so get a pencil and paper ready. But more and more women are getting involved in the outdoors, and that's one of the things that you started with. Why is that important?
Why is it? Well, I think more women are getting involved in the outdoors. I think it's an outgrowth of the physical fitness movement, you know, and it's also, you know, women are wanting challenges in their lives. They're wanting, you know, like they're getting in shape. They're being proud of being strong. It's becoming the thing, you know, to be strong, and that's something that we women used to not find very attractive. It's also just a good way of getting away from it all. And, you know, basically it's just another frontier that's opening up to women.
Okay. The Outdoor Survival Guide is provided from Upjohn. And can I pass along the address? Because I know lots of folks would like the information that you have contained within. If you'll drop a line to the Outdoor Survival Guide, Department Court Aid, Box 307 in Coventry, Connecticut, 06238. They will send it back to you. Let me put down the space blanket for just a minute, talking about clothing to wear and things that you should be aware of before you go to the great outdoors. And so that experience, for those of us city kids who are going out there for the first time, it's a pleasant experience, and it can be fun, and you'll go much more often. And in our area, that makes a lot of sense because it's so close to us.
Yeah.
Thank you, Carol, for joining us this morning on Look Who's
Talking.
We'll take a break. We'll be right back with more. Don't go away.
Butterworth, I love you like syrup, but how come the bottle doesn't walk and talk like your regular syrup? I love the buttery taste.
And Mummy loves the 45% less calories and sugar than regular syrup.
She talks. She talks.
New Mrs. Butterworth's Light, the only light syrup made with real grade A butter.
Say something, please.
At A&A Carpet, we're ripping out walls and tearing down prices. We're making room to bring you an even bigger selection of fine carpeting. If you don't mind the dust, we'll make it worth your while. At the A&A expansion sale, you can carpet the average living room, dining room, and hall, completely installed, $400. We're knocking down walls and prices, too. The A&A expansion sale. Call 451-6300 for shop and home service. Or stop by A&A on Folsom Boulevard in Sacramento.
Eggo waffles. I'm starving. You're the best, Mom.
Oh, not so fast. This isn't a typical Eggo. This is a Nutri-Grain waffle. It's for grown-ups.
I'm grown up.
It's for people old enough to appreciate a natural whole grain taste.
I can appreciate that. Mom, let go my Eggo.
Oh, if you're old enough to eat them, guess what? You're old enough to make them.
Nutri-Grain waffles. No preservatives or added sugar. Just great whole grain taste. New from Eggo.
Are you looking for a bargain on children's clothing, toys, furniture, maternity clothes? Well, you're in luck. The Sacramento Mothers of Twins Club will be holding their annual children's clothing and equipment sale on August 17th at the Centennial United Methodist Church from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. There'll be quality merchandise at wholesale prices, and you can get some there as well. 451-6441 is their number.
It's State Fair time again. This Sunday night on Channel 3, join us for State Fair 85, a blue ribbon affair, and see some of this year's newest attractions. State Fair 85 is sponsored by your neighborhood Lucky Food Center, where we give our best every day, and by Blue Shield. Now's the time state employees can transfer to the Blue Shield plan and save money. Join us Sunday night at 6 for State Fair 85 right here on Channel 3.
Welcome back to Look Who's Talking. Our environmental designer, landscape and garden expert Michael Glassman is with us, but at the California State Fair, which opens its gates just about 15 minutes from now. As the State Fair opens, Michael is there ahead of time, and nice to see you this morning, Michael.
Hi, Jim. Nice to see you also. In fact, the opening activities get started at about 12 o'clock at the main gate with March Fong Yu. Jim, it's kind of interesting because about several months ago, you and I were talking about, and with the television viewers, about edible landscaping. And it just so happens that here at the State Fair, they have a perfect example of an edible landscape.
Michael, let me just jump in and say, if folks at home have a question or a comment on this, give us a call at 443-TALK, because Michael's out there and we can talk with you as well.
Sure, and I want to hear your questions. So as I was saying, we have an example of an edible landscape, and this gives me a good opportunity to actually point out the plants and how they fit together. And so if we look around this exhibit, you'll notice some different interesting plants to see. For example, down here, we have this creeping thyme, and this is an herb, and it can be dried and used in your cooking. For a ground cover, also next to it, you have creeping rosemary. And as those of you that know what rosemary is, you dry it and you use it for marinara sauce and spaghetti sauce, so it's an excellent herb and spice. Also, as we look around this garden, it looks very ornamental, but again, these are all edible things, things that you can use in your kitchen or for medicinal purposes, so they're usable. A little further over, you'll notice we have some basil. It's different kinds of basil. You have a dark purple one and a white and a green basil. This again can be dried, and you can make pesto. And the red leaf things is Swiss chard, and as you know, you can use that in your salads and for cooking. Other things, as you're looking around this exhibit, you'll notice we have some chives and the trees. The trees are also edible. We have, over in this area, we have genetically dwarfed peaches and nectarines. Now, your first question might be, okay, genetically dwarfed, does that mean that the fruit is a lot smaller?
Right, I don't want small peaches.
Right, you don't want small peaches. No, the fruit is full size. It's just that the plant itself is genetically dwarfed to grow small so that you can get to it. And this can be put on a deck or a small patio, but you get about 75 to 80 pieces of fruit on the plant itself. They're the full size, and they taste just as good as any size full-size tree.
Michael, can I ask whether or not any of these are annuals, or are they perennials? Will they come up year after year?
Most of these are perennials, and they come back year after year. You will get some annuals, but most of your herbs, especially, and your fruit trees, they are perennials. You'll also notice behind me we have some sort of a structure, an overhead structure. This is great because it's not only aesthetically pleasing, but it also has edibles growing all over it. We have some cucumbers, and we have some peas and beans, and then below it, if you can carefully look, you'll notice as a ground cover they've used real edible strawberries. So you get the best of both worlds.
Now, one of the things that when we talked about this before, a lot of people say this is great, but how much care is it going to take?
Initially, it takes a little bit more time. First of all, the planting stage, you have to plan it out so that you have enough space and that you know where you're going to put the different items. For example, a lot of these things, you'll notice, take full hot sun. So if you have a big sunny area, that's where you want to do it. And I would recommend putting an herb garden or an edible landscape close to a kitchen so that you don't have to trek all the way out into your landscape to get to it. And then initially, it takes about 2 years. Now, this exhibit took about 2 years to really get it started. Last year, they planted everything. They've been pruning and they've been working on it. And this year, it's really coming out on its own. It's a really beautiful exhibit.
Michael, because we're going to be eating many of these things which we grow in our gardens, some people might have a concern about pests. And if indeed there are pests, and I use pesticides on them, How dangerous does that make it to eat these particular herbs?
Okay, there are certain type of pesticides that you definitely would not want to use. You would not want to use any systemics. Let me explain to the people what a systemic is. It's a pesticide that you would put on the roots, and then it's incorporated into the root system and up into the plant, and that will control the pest. You would definitely not want to use any systemics.
What products would come under the heading of systemics?
There are different names, and what I would recommend, rather than telling you exactly, I would recommend going to a nursery and asking which systemics that they would recommend not using. My recommendation for when you're doing an edible landscape is not use any pesticides whatsoever. Use the soapy water method. Mix a little soap with a little water and spray it. And not be too disappointed if once in a while you get a couple of leaves that are munched and you get some things that if some bugs move into it, there are ways of taking care of it. Snails, you can use the beer method, putting the beer in the little containers, and the snails are attracted to the beer and they drown. Aphids and whitefly, those can be controlled, as I said, with soapy water, a little bit of soap, a little water. You can spray it every 2 weeks, and that will control the pest.
Okay.
My recommendation is don't use don't use pesticides when you're using edible landscapes.
Let's take a question from one of our viewers at home, 443 Talk. Line 1, good morning. You have a question for Michael?
Yes, I wanted to know if there's any herbs that will grow in the shade of oak trees.
Herbs that will grow in the shade of an oak tree.
Yes, some of the things in the mint family would probably grow under the shade, but I want to really caution you. Because of oak trees, and depending on where they're grown, if they're not used to a lot of water, if they're like a native oak, you don't want to plant anything underneath an oak tree. You want to use cobbles or a non-organic material.
Why?
The reason is that if you take, say, a valley oak that is not used to having a lot of water, and you suddenly put a grass over underneath it, or azaleas or ferns, start feeding it a lot of water, what's going to happen is, in a short time, a 300-year oak that's flourishing will suddenly get crown rot, and they'll start rotting out and dying. You'll see a 300-year-old oak tree that in less than 10 years, or maybe even less than 5 years, will go downhill and die. So I would be very, very, very careful about how much water you give an existing oak and what you're going to put underneath it. That's something that's a very big problem all over Sacramento. You're losing all your native oak trees.
Now, one of the things that people are heading out to the California State Fair, what are they going to see in the landscape line that might make it attractive for them, in addition to the edible landscape and herbal garden?
Okay, in addition to the edible landscape, go and look at the floricultural exhibit. They have a lot of beautiful flowers and waterfalls. They have some really nice areas. When we talk about, besides herbs and spices, when we talk about agriculture, they have 12 different kinds of major agricultural products that are grown in California. Also, one little thing about opening day today, if you have children that are 12 and under, today only before 5 o'clock they can get in for free. So that's a really good plus. And as I said, there are different exhibits. They have hydroponic gardening, they have greenhouse gardening, they have small space gardening, and they have a lot of exhibits dealing with agriculture and commerce of the things that we grow here in California. So it's really worth seeing.
All right, Michael, thank you for joining us this morning, and thank you for pointing out some of the attractions of the California State Fair. We're going to be broadcasting live from the California State Fair with a special program here on Channel 3 Sunday night at 6 o'clock, and that should be fun. But Michael is the first of a number of our consultants who will be joining us from the State Fair over the next couple of weeks, so we look forward to some more reports from the California State Fair. We look forward to some great shows next week on Look Who's Talking, and a dog so cute you won't believe it. We'll be back with that and more in just a moment.
Spend your morning with Look Who's Talking. For free tickets, call 325-3343. Or you can pick up free tickets at any Bass Ticket outlet located at the Record Factory.
Seniors, the Sutter Community Hospital has something especially for you. You can receive a discount on medical supplies, meals, health checkups, and get your questions answered about health insurance and claims forms. Find out today about the Sutter Gold Card. Call 455-CARE. This is KCRA TV, Sacramento.
Delicious, fabulous, scrumptious ice cream. No, it's Mocha Mix. You say great ice cream, but it's Mocha Mix.
Ann Jillian conquered Broadway, then television, but just as her career fell into place, her world fell apart. In this week's People, Ann tells how she's rebounding from cancer surgery. People celebrates people with a story everyone will want to read. Next, what route will Bruce take after his tour? How Andrea Evans gave new life to One Life to Live, and much more. Every week, People's a celebration of the people you'll be talking about next. Week after week, People celebrates people. This week, Ann Jillian fighting back.
Scott Paper Company just cut the cost of paper towels because Scott has just cut down the size of paper towels. Introducing Scott Towels Junior, the smaller, more economical paper towel. Smaller towels, smaller price. Scott Towels Junior can pick up the same size spill as your regular size towel, but without waste. Cut the cost of buying paper towels. Buy the more economical paper towel. Scott Towels Junior. This adapter comes free where you buy new Scott Towels Junior.
I picked up this bulletin about PMS, premenstrual syndrome, from my doctor. And I learned what I can do for real relief. I can take Primusin, PMS. It has the only combination of ingredients clinically proven safe and effective for relief of premenstrual tension, cramps, and bloating, and is available without prescription. Primusin PMS, maximum strength to relieve the symptoms of premenstrual syndrome. Primusin PMS.
In the Consultant's Corner Monday, fitness advisor Connie Morrisroe with tips on keeping fit through the hot days of August.
We're glad you joined us this morning on Look Who's Talking. We'd like to have you join us in person in the studio. If you haven't been here, well, it's a great time and some very interesting, sometimes controversial shows as well. And it's easy to do. Just give us a call at 325-3343. Or if you stop by the Bass Ticket Centers located at the Record Factory, they'll take care of all of your free ticket needs. I want to recognize some groups who joined us this morning from the Oak Park Community Center and Cub Scout Troop 616. Nice to have you with us this morning. Glad that you came. I hope that you or your group can join us real soon. We had some great animals this week from the Sacramento SPCA, and this dog is no exception. This is Panda. Panda is a male 8-week-old Springer Spaniel cross, white and black, beautiful, soft, furry little guy, and he needs a home. And you've been so kind in helping find homes for these animals. If you'll give the SPCA a call at 444-7722, that's 444-7722. You can give a home to Panda. Reviewing the other animals we've had this week, Murphy and Annie and Natty have all found homes, and Rags, that delightful dog with those huge ears like a kangaroo. What a cute pup that was. Well, he needs a home still. So Panda and Rags, give them a call, 444-7722. Coming up on Monday on Look Who's Talking, we're going to talk about fears and phobias and panic. Some people find it in their life almost every day. We're going to deal with some people who found that, and we'll find out how they overcame that particular problem. Then on Tuesday, a somewhat controversial show. Just about a week ago, we did a show on abortion. Well, we're going to do abortion from a man's point of view, people who are involved in the process, and what kind of rights do they have? We'll talk about that on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, dangerous fakes, products, counterfeit products, which may make your life unsafe. I'm not talking about those fake Cartier watches. I'm talking about car parts that aren't real, and sometimes airplane parts that are counterfeit as well. Then coming up on Thursday's program, we'll have new hope for childless couple. What's being done in the infertility fight today? We'll talk with some people who have had success. And then on Friday, what does your name mean? If they call you Chuck or Charlie or Charles, what does it mean? We'll talk about that on Friday with a name expert. Some great shows coming your way next week on Look Who's Talking. Sue will be back on Monday. I hope she enjoyed her vacation. I hope you enjoy the weekend. And remember, Sunday night at 6, we'll be at the State Fair. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Dr. Heathcliff Huxtable. Bill Cosby, today at 4 on 3.
If you've got pets and carpets, you've probably also got fleas, because when your pets bring in fleas, their eggs can hatch in your carpets, and soon out come hundreds of new fleas, hungry to make a meal of your pet or you. The answer? Rug Patrol. It kills fleas and freshens carpets, and it's easy to use. Just sprinkle it on, vacuum it up, and away go fleas. Rug Patrol from Sergeant's. Kills fleas and freshens carpets.
It's closing time at your Lazy Boy Showcase shop, and the recliners think they're alone.
Well, you heard the manager. I'm the world's greatest chair.
What makes you
Because I'm the #1 bestseller. I have a unique back support system, and if customers buy me now, they can save $170.
Are you forgetting my lifetime warranty and that I can tilt in 15 different positions?
I have all that, plus I'm on sale.
So are we.
So are we.
Save $170 to $300 during the world's greatest chair sale going on now, only at Sacramento and Stockton Lazy Boy Showcase shops.
It's State Fair time again. This Sunday night on Channel 3, join us for State Fair.
Good. I'll let you live.
Coming September 12th, the Sacramento International Air Show at Rancho Murieta Airport. You'll see the United States Air Force's...